Alright, so we've got the Moen dial set, and this thing was leaking like crazy out of the bottom. So, bad cartridge in there. Let's go ahead and pull it off. Now I had actually pulled this thing apart and sprayed WD-40, so I had the other piece off already. It limits the range of motion there. But I sprayed WD-40 all in here. Try to do something to let it soak and clean up so the tool will be more effective. So as you can tell, I already had mine off. You're gonna have to break your caulking to make sure you have new caulk before you go back together. You don't want to get any rot in the wood. So we've got a pen in here we got to get out. Let's get a little closer. So everything in this one is corroded big time. Give it another little squirt here. Our clip is out now. So we're going to unscrew our tool. So we're going to set it in, so these ear tabs need to be located in there. Counter. So it needs to be like this. Or sorry. It needs to be in like this, so it's going to go on these two sides to go around those ear tabs. So once that's fully screwed into the cartridge, screw it over. And so we're going to give it a twist. And you're worried about corrosion. There we go. We're fighting years of mineral deposits and buildup here. So I'm going to turn the camera off so I can get better grip, but just know I'm going to be holding it here, and we're going to be moving the pliers, and it's going to be pulling the cartridge out. So at some point it's going to get a little bit easier to work on. And when you're twisting here, it's going to pull it out, but typically what happens, and this is very, very typical and almost to be expected, is that the inside piece of the cartridge comes out and the outside piece remains intact. So this is where we have to switch gears here and get creative. Yahoo. Alright, so I crammed a wooden dowel in here. It needs to be about 1 1¼ to 1/2 inch, and it's actually like a smaller circumference inside that fitting. Again, the dowel needs to be 1 to 1½ inches, and it needs to be the same size as this or smaller. It can't be any larger, it won't fit. It's a larger hole up front, but it's a deeper one back. or smaller one as it goes deeper. Then we're going to take our 1/2" fitting, or a 1/2" tap and die, and we are going to thread in and pull everything out. It's going to use that wooden dowel as a kind of a stop, and instead of the tap going in further, it's going to pull the cartridge out, hopefully. So I ran the tap all the way in here. It hasn't fucking budged. So, yeah, it's not good. I might have to take a time out here. The last thing I want to do is break a tap in there, or break my valve. Okay, so we've been working at this thing for a while. We got our 1/2" tap still in there, and it looks like we were able to actually spin the cartridge just a hair. So the dowel pin is in there. And it's not gonna work with us right now. We tried tapping on a little bit, just to, not trying to break the line, but we're trying to break it loose. And it just went. So it just broke loose. Holy cow. So I'm worried about a lip of stuff, corrosion on there. But what I can see now, you can see the tab here, that's what I'm looking at. It's moving. Look at that. Who knows how long this thing had been in there. There we go, guys. There's my wooden dowel. That is that. And the replacement one, instead of being brass, is plastic, so it will not fuse like this. So once you replace it, you're not going to run into the same problem later. Should come out with just the regular tools.
Still pretty gritty in there.
20 or 30 years buildup worth of shit in it.
Yeah, it is. Are you taping this up?
Yeah. I figure if it's fucking us up,
yeah,
maybe it'll help somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so give me the other piece.
You want the new valve?
Mm-hmm. You hold on to it and I'll crap it.
So the new valves, they come with this piece of plastic. So you don't even have to use that tool I bought.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's already greased.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Look at it.
Perfect. I'm putting some of this on anyway.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I know this is the old stuff, so it's good. It didn't have all the
Yeah.
bullshit as the...
It's not the CA free stuff, the California legal.
Exactly. It'll probably make it glow in the dark, but... Alright.
Use a new tool that comes with it. Stick it in. I'll just try to work it in a little bit. Make sure that's all the way back in. Okay, so I had to get a file. The file down the back of the valve. Don't automatically jump to that. You need to make sure it's clean in here. For me, we cleaned this thing out. It's clean, but I could not get the clip in, and I found out between the brass and then the newer 1225, there is a dimensional change. So I had to file down the back of this valve to be able to get that clip to fit. Since I am home by myself, I have to fashion something up. So basically what I'm going to do is turn the water on the outside to flush out the pipes full of any debris. There might be a couple O-rings in there, might be a couple pieces of rubber. So we're going to go ahead and flush that out. Be right back. Well, that was interesting. I came back and there's water all over the floor. Apparently I got some on the lens, but most importantly is I got a ton of shit out of there. So we know the lines are clear. That's what we want. Now we're gonna go back in with the valve. Okay, so I got the new valve in. So when it's in there, man, the clip goes right in, but I could not, for the life of me, get, of course I pulled it out and it's just a little bit tight around the sides there. It's not a big deal. Shouldn't be. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so, alright, so the new valve, this is a replacement cartridge. Now, I had read online if you can't get the clip in, if you have an older model with a brass insert, which this one did, then you should file off the back half of the boss back here. Now, as you can see, this one has no rubber on it. I pulled the O-rings out, I pulled all the rubber off of it, still couldn't get it to fit. And what I found out is that there is a dimensional difference between here and here versus the O-ring. So one side is completely flat. Let me get my arm out of the way. So one side's completely flat, it's fine. The other side is actually raised up about 1 millimeter or 1/2 millimeter. Not much at all. So because I had filed off everything in the back, I knew it was in the back, I went to go get a replacement one just so I could start fresh because I had filed off so much of the back of it. I went and took my new one and I filed it down on the side that was large. You can see where I attempted on this one, but I was so mad that I filed off the back. I was like, screw it, I don't want to have to deal with this, no problems. But I filed off right around here. I just went around it just like this over and over and over again, and it slid right in, fully seated, good to go. But man, absolutely frustrating. But I think it's because this is an older brass housing and the tolerances are so much different than the newer ones. But again, so if you guys are struggling to get the clip in, absolutely make sure you guys have no buildup anywhere, even on this front half that's not exposed to the water. And the back half, water 50 mixed with water, 50-50 mixed with vinegar, whatever you have to do, a little bit of sandpaper in there, nothing rough. But you want all that, you want all the corrosion out, you want all the buildup out, and you guys should be good. But again, they said some of them they had to file down the back, but in my case, no, it wasn't the back, it was actually the front. It looks like dimensionally it was built, manufactured either wrong or, you know, might work for the current ones, but it definitely did not work for this older one. So again, the O-ring here that sits in this groove is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with this side, but on this side it was up 1/2 millimeter versus everything else. So when you look down the line right here, it was raised up. Here, nope, it was fine. So there's a gap here. If you can see right there's a gap right there. Right here, it's actually the high point is on this piece. So hopefully that helps somebody else save some hours of frustration, because I tell you, it's been an exercise in frustration. So anyway, good luck guys.